Hello all, in this video we will learn that how we can work with Google Forms to create online tests and to successfully conduct them online for our students. So in the Google Forms there are four main steps. First one is obviously to make a Google form. Then when we have created our Google form, then we'll send it to our students. Once we have sent it to the students at the required time, we need to close the test at the required time. Then when we have closed the test, we shall collect the responses, and these responses are saved in our Google Drive. And then once we have all the responses, we can just scroll down to see the results, and when we are satisfied that it's okay, then we can release the results. So in this video we'll see all these four main aspects of making a Google form or conducting an online. So after we have made a Google test, how it will look like. So this is how the test should look like once we'll make it at the end of this video. So our test would look like this once we are finished with making the test. We can do much more than this, but we'll start with basic and see how it looks like. So now let us start making the test. Now in my Google Drive, I'll just click on this new icon. Then in more, I'll take Google Form. So here I have a Google Form. Now first thing that I'll do before starting my test is, so let us start with changing the theme. Here we have the customized theme. So if I click on this theme, I can choose image. So Google gives us these default images, we can choose from anyone, but I want to upload picture from my computer. So I'll click upload, I'll browse, and from my computer, I'll upload this image. So I'll adjust it and I'll click the done button. So it's taking a bit time. So once we are done, we have this thing on our Google form. Now I'm happy with the background color. Otherwise, if you want to change, we can have other options as well. So I think this looks nice for the background color, and I'll close the theme. Now we have to go for the settings. So first of all, this is still untitled. I'll give it a title, like say it is the science, then science, and here I'll write class 7. Okay, so here also if I click, now this form name is science, or I can even change it to science test class 7. So if I click here, so it is the science test. Now next thing we are going to do is the change the settings. In the settings, I'll click this journal settings, I'll click the collect email address. So this is important because this form will ask the students to write down their email address. So that way I don't have to collect the email address of students by asking them or making a list. So this form will do that for me. And the second thing, this email address is important so that I can send the result individually to the students. I need not to send a list of marks on a group. So this way each student will get the marks of the test on his email. Now this option will limit the test to one response, means a student can take a test only once, not more than that. So after this, I'll go to quiz. So quizzes is important because this will make the Google form a quiz. Otherwise, Google form do not allow us to add answer keys or mark the questions. So Google form now becomes a quiz when we make this thing. And now we have two other options, whether we want to release grade immediately after they have finished the test or somewhat time later when we have a decide like we want to release the grades or release the results of the test on a particular date. So for that we can choose this option. Now we have to uncheck these boxes, otherwise students can revisit their test. So this is done now. I'll click save. So this is one thing. For description, I can write like all, I can leave it, or this is a practice test. I can write anything for if I want to describe it more, or I can write duration like say 20 minutes. Now after this, apart from duration, we can mention um, maximum marks, say it's 25. So it's gone. So we have put the description like duration of the test and marks. Now if I see here, we have these icons. Now this plus is to add question, and this is if we want to import questions from the test which we have previously made, then this is to add a title or description. Now after this, if I want to add another title, I can do that. So for example, uh, I don't want a title now, but I want a question now. So I'll add a question. Now first question will be asking the name of the student. So I'll make it a short answer question, and this will be name. So this will be name, and answer key I've kept it 0 point because I don't want this test to give marks for the name. So this is done, and now I'll click it required. So this is required. This is compulsory. Without name, the student cannot move ahead in the test. So this is it. Now I can add another. So another will be class. Now if I do it again and again, it will take time. So what can I do? I have another this type question in my previous test. So I'll just import question from my test. So I'll click import. Now I have a form made already, prepared a form. From here I can click what questions I want to add from this form. So I want these two questions to be added. So I'll just click these two questions and I'll import questions. So I don't have to make these things again. So I have this thing done in my test. So in this way, we have done the first part of our test. That is the, we can delete this question. Sorry, I made it a copy. Delete. Again, this question we don't require, delete. So how the test looks so far, let us have a view of that on the preview. So we can see that so quickly we have made this test. It appears like this. Now email address is required. It shows that wherever there is a asterisk sign, it is required field. The students will write down their email. It need not to be Gmail. It can be any email account, Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever. So here we have name. So here the student can choose the class, whatever they want. Then we have their name. Now after this, we'll start putting the questions that we want to ask the students. Now this is the first part of the test which requires the students particular. Now before starting with the topic or the questions of the test, I'll put another section, another title. So I'll put a title icon here. So I might have gone here untitled. I'll bring it down at the required place. I need it here. So I'll write down like answer the following questions. Okay. Then all questions carry 1 mark. So that's it. We have another section. Now from here, I can start adding my questions. Now it's a multiple choice test. So I'll keep it multiple choice. Now let us add one question, or like if I say, identify the picture. Okay. Now I can add a picture here. So we can upload a picture, but this time I'll search the image on Google. So I'll write down what do I want. I want an image of, say, picture plant. Now I have this picture plant. I'll take this image and I'll insert. So this is quite big. I can resize it. Just still I feel it's big. I can resize it. It's enough. Now I can add options like anything, leguminous plant. Then I can add another option, um, so I can add another option like picture plant. So I can add another like, say, simply green plant, or I can add another like rhizo rhizobium or whatever. Could we can make it better, or we can write up Cascutta. So we have these four options. Now my question is ready, but I need to add the answer. So I'll click on answer key. So I'll make it 1 point, and then for answer it is a picture plant. I'll click. Now it's done. So this question is in the question paper, and it's also noted in the answer key once we require it. Now I'm not making this question required because students need not to do this question compulsorily. They may skip the question if they don't want to do this question. But in the previous section of that part, they need to fill all these things, otherwise they cannot move ahead in the test. Now one question is added. Now I want more questions, but I don't want to type, so I can import the questions from my previously made tests. So I have this test here. Now I want to add another question like this or this and this. So I'll import questions. These are questions of the same topic, so it saves me time. So I can see that I don't need to work on anything. Everything is done. So now our test is ready. I can preview this test. So the test looks like this to us. So the first part of the this Google form is completed, that is making a online test. Now after we have made our test and we are all right, we are satisfied after seeing the preview that nothing is to be changed. Now we need to send the test. So here we have the send button. We'll click on send. Now I don't know the email of all my students. I don't want to uh, collect the emails. It is a tedious task. So I'll click on the link button. So anyone having this link will be able to do the test. So this is a quite long URL. So I'll click to shorten the URL. Now I have this link only. Now I'll copy this link and I'll go to my mailbox. So I'll compose a mail to myself. And I'll paste the link here and I'll send the button. Now I have sent the mail to myself, and I can open the mail. I can open this mail in the phone and then copy and paste this link in the WhatsApp group of students. From there, they can do it. They can start doing the test. Now I'll send the link at the required time. Suppose my test starts at 9. So maybe at 8:55, I'll send this, copy this link from my mailbox into the WhatsApp group for the students. Now, when the students have the link in the WhatsApp group, and then when they click on the link, this link will take them to our test. So this is how the test looks like. They can start filling the test. Like, I'll just doing it like this. At class, I choose 7th A, and roll number, I'll say 32. Then next, I can answer the questions and just doing it randomly. So after doing that, I can submit the test. Once it is submitted, it shows that your response have been recorded. Now they cannot do this test again. Now let us see, once the test is done, how it looks like in our Google form. Now I can see that if I come to response tab, I can see that one response has been given, and it was done by me just now only. So I can see that this person has done the test. Here my arbitrary name has appeared, and I can see the test. This is the wrong question, that the correct answer is vessel, but the student has done this. So in this way we can see the test, and once we want to release the score, we have to just click the button release score to all. Now the respondent is just one. We can even choose to whom we want to send the result and whom we don't want to send the result. So I can send mail and release the score. So I have sent the score as well to my student. Now in my student mailbox, I can see the result as well. Now I have the score released. This is the score released in the student's mailbox. So that is how we can do with the Google Forms.